Hello and welcome to another episode of FTTV. My name is Amy and today I'm going to start by talking to you all about the NHS. How much do you know about the NHS? Do you know when it first started? It started in 1948. That's 72 years ago. And in the NHS, they treat everybody. No matter what you look like, where you're from or who you are, the NHS treat everyone the same and they look after everybody. Lots of people in your school, I'm sure, are kind and helpful and say please and thank you. But some people in the world aren't so kind and they don't ever say please or thank you. But you know what? The NHS still treat them the same. They still look after them. That reminds me of a story.
I expect some of you might already know the story of Jonah and how he was in the belly of a great big fish for 3 days and 3 nights. But maybe there are some parts of the story that you don't know, or maybe there's some parts that you've forgotten. Well, don't worry, because I'm going to tell you the story now. And in fact, actually, you're going to help me. Now, during our story, there are some things that Jonah says quite a lot, and that's what I want your help with. So one of the things that he says a lot is he says, "Who, me?" So can you help me with that? Let's have a go together, ready? "Who, me?" Brilliant, excellent. And the other thing that he says quite a lot is, "Who, them?" Let's have a go at that one. "Who, them?" Brilliant. And also in the story, there's some responses to both those questions. Someone's going to say, "Yes, Jonah." So if you want to join in with that bit as well, you can do. And in fact, what you might like to do is divide your class in half and have half of you doing "Who, me?" "Who, them?" and the other half can do "Yes, Jonah." Perhaps if you'd like to do that, you might want to pause the video for a moment and let your teacher divide the class up. Great. And there's another part of the story as well, which you could help me with. There is a storm. But when we get to the storm, I'm sure you'll work out the actions and you can join in with those bits when we get there. So, Jonah was a man who believed in God. And he loved God. And he tried to do what God wanted him to do. Until the day when God asked Jonah to do something that he didn't want to do, that he really didn't want to do. You see, there was a city over here called Nineveh. And the people in Nineveh were not very nice at all. They were doing all kinds of terrible things. And so God wanted Jonah, "Who, me?"
Yes, Jonah.
To go to Nineveh and warn the people there, "Who, them?"
Yes, Jonah.
That they needed to change their ways and start being better. Now, Jonah really wasn't very keen on this idea. "Who, me?"
Yes, Jonah.
Because he thought that the people in Nineveh, "Who, them?"
Yes, Jonah.
were so bad that they didn't deserve a warning, that they deserved all they got, and that they should be punished. So do you know what Jonah did? He ran away. He went down to the docks and he found a boat that was going in totally the opposite direction. And Jonah got on the boat. Now remember, Nineveh was over here and this boat was on its way to Spain, which was all the way over here. But God knew exactly where Jonah was. "Who, me?"
Yes, Jonah.
He knew that he was on a boat with a load of sailors on its way to Spain. "Who, them?"
Yes, Jonah.
So God sent a storm. And not just any storm, a great big storm. You might want to join in with this bit. The wind blew and the rain fell and the waves crashed. And it was a really big storm and the boat was in danger of breaking apart. Now, the sailors, they knew that Jonah was running away, well, trying to run away from God. So they sent their captain to talk to him. Jonah, said the captain, "we think this storm might be because of you." "Who, me?"
Yes, Jonah.
"And so my crew have asked me to speak to you about it." "Who, them?"
Yes, Jonah.
Now, Jonah knew that the storm was his fault. So he told the captain of the ship to throw him overboard. Yeah, he did. But the captain thought that seemed a little bit unfair. So the crew, the sailors, they tried to row the ship to land. But the storm got worse. The wind blew, and the rain fell, and the waves, they crashed. And so they decided to do what Jonah said, and they threw him overboard. Wow. And the wind stopped blowing, and the rain stopped falling, and the waves were still. But what about Jonah? Who, me?
Yes, Jonah.
Well, God sent a great big fish, and this fish swallowed Jonah. Who, me?
Yes, Jonah.
And he was in the belly of that fish for 3 days and 3 nights. Now, while he was in the fish, I think Jonah had a bit of thinking time. Who, me?
Yes, Jonah.
And I think he realised where he'd gone wrong. Who, me?
Yes, Jonah.
And he prayed to God. And God heard his prayer. And after those 3 days and 3 nights, the great big fish spewed Jonah out onto dry land. Wow. Now, the thing was, God hadn't forgotten all about Nineveh. So God told Jonah, who, me?
Yes, Jonah.
To go to Nineveh and warn the people there, who, them?
Yes, Jonah.
That they needed to change their ways. And this time, Jonah listened. He did what God told him to do. He went to Nineveh and he warned the people, who, them?
Yes, Jonah.
That they needed to stop all those bad things that they were doing. They needed to change their ways. And the people in Nineveh, who, them?
Yes, Jonah.
They listened. They heard what Jonah said. They believed him. And they stopped doing all those bad things and they changed their ways. And God forgave them and he didn't punish them. Now, I wonder how Jonah felt about that. Who, me?
Yes, Jonah.
Well, he wasn't very happy. In fact, he was downright angry. He was angry with God. He said to God, I knew this would happen. I knew that you would be kind and you would forgive them. I knew that you would show them compassion and love, and they don't deserve it. It's not fair. And God's reply, he said, Jonah, who, me?
Yes, Jonah.
Those people in Nineveh, who, them?
Yes, Jonah.
I love those people in Nineveh. I care about them. No matter what bad things they've done, they're important to me. They didn't have chance to know me or to love me until you brought them my message. So Jonah, who, me?
Yes, Jonah.
I won't abandon those people in Nineveh. Who, them?
Yes, Jonah.
And Jonah, who, me?
Yes, Jonah.
I won't abandon you either.
Jonah didn't want to do what God had asked him to do. He couldn't understand why the people of Nineveh deserved kindness. They were rude and selfish and ungrateful. As Christians at the Family Trust, we believe that everyone deserves kindness because we believe that our God is just and kind and loving to everyone. Some people might not be our best friends, but we can still show them kindness. Let's think for a moment about being respectful and showing kindness. Who can you show respect and kindness to? Your friends, your teachers, your family, people in the community? Think about that. How can you show respect and kindness to them? I'm going to say a prayer now, and if you'd like to join in with a big Amen at the end, that means I agree. Dear God, help us to show kindness and respect to others. Are you ready? Amen. Now, before we go, I'm just going to have a little peek inside the mystery box and see what's hiding in there to remind us of today's assembly. It's a first aid box. Why do you think we've got a first aid box? Perhaps it's because we were thinking about the NHS at the start of this assembly and how they help people no matter who they are or what they've done. So we can remember to treat others with kindness. That's it for today, and we will see you next time for another episode of FTTV. Bye!